There's a bit of a developing story happening right now involving CNN totally getting busted after the final night of the DNC. And this is in regard to their undecided voters panel, supposedly of voters from Pennsylvania, reacting to Kamala Harris's DNC speech. And this is looking to be a pretty big case of journalistic malpractice, which is interesting, of course, because CNN has long been in the crosshairs for Trump and a repeated target of his claims about fake news. For years, Trump has targeted CNN, calls Jake Tapper fake Tapper. It's been a constant harangue of his. And now it would appear that maybe Trump is right, except what's really happening is it looks like CNN has been caught red-handed, thumbing the scale for Donnie, pulling a little bit of a bait and switch. Immediately following coverage of Kamala's speech at the DNC, CNN aired an undecided voters panel. This was a group of people that CNN said were undecided voters, and then they were asking them questions about their reaction to Kamala's speech. It looked like CNN actually had a Trump voter on that panel, portraying him as somebody who was undecided. Now, the ruse was first uncovered by Meidas Touch. We're going to go back and look at the original, and then we have a little bit of commentary because new details have been uncovered about this voter and his relationship with CNN. And in fact, this is starting to show a pattern of behavior with CNN, how they're handling the Trump campaign and portrayals of Trump leading up to this election. Let's go take a look. Dude, let's watch the panel of undecideds. Although we found out one of the guys was actually quite decided. This shit was funny, bro.
What I want to ask all of you all together at this point, like I said, none of you were ready to make a commitment to any candidate in November. Please raise your hand right now if you're now ready to make a commitment after today. Wow. I'm just kind of surprised by it. We haven't rehearsed this. I'm going to make that very clear. I will attest to this. 7 of you are now ready. Scott?
Yes, I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris.
Andy?
Yeah, Kamala Harris, yes.
Come on.
Yes, I'm voting for her also.
Sean? Sean?
Yes, Kamala.
Sabrina?
Kamala.
Patrick?
Kamala.
Hi.
Brian?
Trump.
Trump? And finally, Lindsay.
Still probably not voting.
Yeah, she's not voting. But this guy, though, the guy who said Trump was actually a longtime Trump supporter. Meidas Touch uncovered that. This guy right here.
Rosado then confirmed he wasn't ready to vote for Vice President Kamala Harris. Moments later, he raised his hand, indicating that he was ready to make a commitment. When asked, he stated that he was now going to be voting for Donald Trump. All right, so we then found out about this guy's social media history. He started to post from the CNN studio, so we confirmed that it was him, and his account was the real estate guy. You see his posts right here on his story saying he was at the CNN studio. Then, the Trump campaign quickly seized upon Rosado's comments, using them as an attack on Kamala Harris. Several pro-Trump accounts then amplified his comments across social media, including
But it turns out he's been a Trumpy the whole time.
Campaign. So Meidas Touch then uncovered that despite telling CNN that he was an undecided voter who just decided to vote for Trump, Rosado has a substantial MAGA social history. He has been posting pro-Trump content for years. Meidas Touch did not locate any posts indicating support for Kamala Harris or Democrats, but we did find numerous pro-Trump and MAGA Republican posts. Here's what we found. Trump's mugshot. On Twitter, Rosado retweeted Trump's mugshot multiple times. The retweet of Donald Trump's post of the mugshot contained a link to Trump's website, which redirected to a fundraising page. Doesn't sound so undecided to me.
Yeah, weird.
Rosado also reposted Elon Musk's quote tweet of the mugshot post where Elon Musk said, next level. He then retweeted Don Jr.'s mugshot post as well, which read, hey, Deep State, he's coming for you.
He retweeted all of them.
2025.
He was undecided.
The CNN undecided voter doesn't seem to be so undecided, saying, hey, Deep State, he's coming for you. See you on January 20th, 2025. He retweeted a picture of Trump at Mar-a-Lago with another call to reinstate Trump on Twitter.
Is that a Nelk boy?
Rosado
that guy looked like a Nelk boy.
Quote, bring back
a Nelk
Trump.
brother.
In another tweet on the same day, Rosado again pleaded with Elon Musk to, quote, bring Trump back. He also retweeted Trump's account using the hashtag MAGA. Rosado follows Trump, Don Jr., and Candace Owens from his real estate business account at The Real Estate Guy.
Dude,
when it comes to January
this guy
6th,
is not
Rosado indicated
undecided.
disappointment that Vice President Mike Pence refused to overturn the Electoral College vote for Trump. Rosado replied, shake my head, to a CNBC tweet on January 6th, reporting that Mike Pence reject Trump's call to overturn Biden's election. You see it right there. Shake my head. Then he talks about the Great Reset. In October 2021, Rosado claimed, quote, the global reset was starting due to mass internet outages. The global reset is a conspiracy theory pushed by MAGA Republicans and QAnon supporters claiming a secret cabal is attempting to reshape the world to their evil agenda. You see his post right there. Rosado has attacked and amplified attacks on Joe Biden. In January 2023, Rosado replied to Biden, quote, you are confused, bro. He also amplified an attack from Benny Johnson on Joe Biden that said, what if people talked like Joe Biden? Awkward. In April 2020, Rosado replied Trump 2020 to a Joe Biden tweet stating, quote, our planet cannot afford 4 more years of Donald Trump. And then he did hashtag Trump 2020. He also reposted.
Yeah, so I'm starting to get the feeling that our guy on that CNN poll was not undecided. How about you guys? What do you think, chat? I think maybe that guy's not undecided.
Tucker Carlson discussing the MAGA Republicans' use of FJB
Dude, hilarious.
and Let's Go Brandon, phrases used by Trump supporters to attack Biden.
Dude,
with respect to Candace Owens,
big
Rosado
faker.
has expressed support
Agreed.
for her. In March, after the Daily Wire parted ways with her, he posted on Facebook, thank God for Candace Owens. Owen was dropped by the Daily Wire after making anti-Semitic comments. In replies to his post, Rosado defended Owens, calling her his hero. Rosado said he likes Candace Owens' voice and he agrees with her 100% of the time. Rosado is an apparent fan of Andrew Tate, but didn't like Aiden Ross sniffing the seat of Andrew Tate. Trump recently interviewed
wait.
At the receipts, folks. We get very detailed here.
Dude, this is amazing.
Agrees with her 100% of the time. Rosado is an apparent fan of Andrew Tate, but didn't like Aiden Ross sniffing the seat of Andrew Tate. Trump recently...
Oh, dude, he likes Andrew Tate, but he had a problem with Aiden Ross sniffing Tate's chair. That's interesting. All right. Dude, that's weird. I mean, dude, he's got some sense of boundaries. I wonder how he feels about Tate and trafficking minor girls. I wonder if that's a problem, or if it, to him, maybe the chair sniffing was just a little too homoerotic.
Interviewed chair sniffer Aiden Ross at his Mar-a-Lago
chair
home.
sniffer.
You see him reposting
Aiden
Andrew
Ross.
Tate over and over again, and Andrew Tate was recently arrested on sex trafficking charge. Rosado retweeted a post indicating support for Elon Musk.
You know what's funny about this terrible girl? Right? Her name, I don't think her name is actually Tara. Get it? Terrible. But anyways, I didn't realize she was a right winger. But there was a while ago where somebody was impersonating me. They were using images of me and my family and making up fake Twitter accounts and pretending like they were LGBTQ people, but using pictures of my family and saying objectionable shit that made them seem like extremist LGBTQ people. And so I posted about it on Twitter, and then a bunch of people reported those accounts, and all those accounts got shut down. And what was interesting was she got up in my DMs and was like, oh my God, that stuff has happened to me. I got your back. And she started like talking to me, only to realize though that I was a very left-wing person. And then she stopped speaking to me because, she's horrible politically. But it's funny that she gets mentioned, that she like came to my aid until she found out I was a left-winger. And then it was like, ooh, she unfollowed me and all this crazy shit.
He has also reposted Elon Musk criticizing advertisers who left Twitter due to concerns over content moderation. Rosado indicated he was unmoved by Kamala Harris's speech and was now voting for Trump on CNN and claimed to be an undecided voter. I'll let you make the decision if you think that's an undecided voter right there. But what seems most likely to be the case is that he was always a Trump supporter, as his pro-Trump social media history indicates.
Now, here's the thing, though, that we have to ask ourselves about this guy going on CNN as an undecided voter. Now, did CNN not vet the guy? Is CNN creating a panel of undecided voters and they're doing no vetting whatsoever? They're not looking to see if these voters are already undecided or not? Or did they already vet him and they found out the truth and it doesn't matter? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter to them. Like, something clearly is up with that whole thing. There is, dude. Like, either CNN did no vetting or CNN vetted the guy and knew this. That guy was not undecided. So then you wonder, though, what about the rest of this group? Are they all plants? But now, of course, as the truth of this thing comes out, we find out that it gets even worse because that undecided voter, Bryant Rosado, revealed new information claiming that CNN knew he was a Trump voter. And in fact, he says they knew from the very beginning. Crazy part is that CNN invited me knowing I was a Trump supporter. Then they said it'll be voters that are undecided, not Democrats. They told me to keep an open mind and to give Kamala a chance after the speech since she's the new candidate after Biden. So I did. That's what he said on Twitter. A Twitter user, Jeff Clark, interacted with him, little bit of back and forth convo where Rosado divulged more information about how he ended up on the panel in the first place. And he says, and I quote, "I'd be glad to answer. I was at a restaurant having a drink with a buddy and the reporter came to our table and asked, 'Who are we voting for?' And we both said Trump. Then he asked if I'm willing to have an open mind and give Kamala a chance. And I said, absolutely. Then he was invited." That happened 1 week before the event. And what's more is it looks like the host, Gary Tuchman, was the one who invited Rosado. Dude. CNN, what are we doing? Now, what's incredibly alarming about this situation is not only did CNN lie, is the timing of it. CNN chose to falsely advertise this Trump supporter as an undecided voter in one of their focus group panels on the biggest night of the Democratic convention after Kamala's rousing acceptance speech. That is hugely problematic. Because if they're going to be dishonest in a huge moment like that, you have to wonder, what are they doing in the day-to-day? As you can see by the tweets, this Rosado guy then threatens Meidas Touch, said they better be lawyering up because he's going to sue him for defamation. So apparently, in addition to having piss-poor political views, he's not too bright when it comes to the law either. Not a shocker. But now, this whole situation fits in with the general theme of CNN of late. We all saw at the Biden-Trump debate how Donald Trump was lying about full-term babies that were being executed, and there was absolutely no pushback. Dana Bash followed up with a question to Joe Biden, pointing out how several states have no limits on when abortions can take place, which, following that series of Trump's lies about abortion, almost made it seem as though the lies Trump just told may actually be valid, that fully realized babies were being aborted after birth, which is absolutely not happening. And then J.D. Vance just went on the show with Jake Tapper and did nothing but outright lie with zero pushback, which absolutely set the internet on fire. So CNN, we're on to you. There is something going on with that network. They are clearly continually pushing a Trump apologist or pro-Trump narrative, and they're starting to do it in really subversive and dishonest ways. So all I'm saying is, in this election season, you got to be careful. You got to double check. There's a lot of misinformation out there. So make sure you're doing your homework. Let's go.